All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Ryan here. I am back. Let's go ahead and get into the topic of the day. Enjoy the gameplay, man. Playing Star Wars again, using the overpowered burst pistol when you put some 2 attachments on it. Yeah, this thing pretty much melts anything when you put on the recoil attachment and the extra burst attachment. Keep in mind, you can put all 3 attachments on this gun at the same time. So, yeah, take that as you will, but this gun is ridiculous. Anyway, nonetheless, let's get into the topic of the day. Sony should buy Capcom. A lot of us are unanimous with this. We're like, yes. And you know something? I couldn't agree more. You see, Capcom, as much as I love Capcom, and as much as I want to see Capcom stay around and not end up like Mad Cats or anything like that where they go out of business, I love Capcom. Capcom's a big part of my childhood, everybody's childhood, okay? We all love Capcom. The problem with Capcom is they seem to not grasp the fact that us gamers, okay, we want more than just Street Fighter. We want more than just Resident Evil. We want more than that, okay? Us gamers want old favorites back. I know a lot of you would pay. Let's be real here. Capcom talks about their financials all the time. It's always, you know, their financials are always talked about and brought up. Whether they're about to go out of business, whether they're hemorrhaging money because of games not selling. And I look at it like this. I look at this, Capcom. Whose fault is that? Literally, whose fault is it that you guys are struggling? It's your fault. Number one, you don't give the consumer what they want. The consumer has had enough of Street Fighter. Now, again, I'm not saying Street Fighter needs to end. No, I'm saying Street Fighter needs to stop being the main priority. We need a Mega Man. Where is Mega Man? This is why Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is getting crumbed by even hardcore Marvel vs. Capcom fans, because even they had enough of this whole, you know, you supposedly listen to our feedback, but then you go and put a character that we want in an actual standalone game. You put them in like these silly, you know, crossover type titles. We don't want that, man. I love Mega Man. Let's be real here. We all love Mega Man. Mega Man is the truth. That's our childhood. But even we gotta admit that Mega Man is something that needs to hurry up and come back. The fact that we have not seen a Mega Man, the fact that we have not seen a Capcom vs. SNK 2 or like remaster of that, or SNK 3, we haven't seen anything like that. It baffles me. It really does baffle me. Capcom has way too many properties, way too many games that can just bring them back into the green with ease. There is too many games on Capcom's end that they don't even fathom in investing in, and it makes you wonder why. Is it your shareholders? Because I highly doubt it's your shareholders, because shareholders are in the business to make money. So I highly doubt your shareholders will be like, oh yeah, let's not invest in something that sold ridiculously well in the past. You know what I'm saying? No. And if that's the case, let's say that is the case. Let's say they said, you know, don't invest in that because of the past and this is the future. Crash Bandicoot is a prime example of how the past still sells. Nostalgia still sells. Crash Bandicoot is one of the most iconic games of all time, okay? Crash Bandicoot is amazing. The remaster of that has done wonders, not only for Sony, but for Activision as well. Activision has something else to lean on aside from Call of Duty. So, you know, this is why I said, you know, Crash Team Racing, more Crash Bandicoots coming. Yeah, more games are coming from Crash Bandicoot, but what's even more funny and what's even more cool about that is what I said beforehand. Spyro is also going to make a return. Mark my words. Mark this video down. Mark that PlayStation News video down. It's going to happen. Spyro is going to make a legendary return. It's too obvious for them not to bring him back. But again, back to Capcom. Capcom, you have way too many games, man. You have way too many properties, way too many games that will boost your sales and bring you guys back to being on top, okay? It makes no sense how EA, okay? EA is more relevant in terms of money than you. It makes no sense. It really does make no sense. When I think of all the games that Capcom has, aside from Resident Evil, Street Fighter, when I think of all these games that you guys have, and you guys cannot give me a single game in 2017 that just brings back the old school Capcom feels and brings back those old school gaming feels where I was back, you know, in school and we're just having fun with friends. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you bring that feeling back? Why do you have to branch out in these dumb decisions? Is it because you need new management? Because if that's the case, Sony needs to scoop them up immediately, take advantage, like literally take control of everything, bring the company back to what it needs to be focused on, and that's more than just one game. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. It's unanimous at this point, okay? And For those of you saying, well, why not Microsoft buy it? Well, let's be real here. Let's look what Microsoft did with Rare. Remember Rare? Rare didn't really get used at all. They got pushed into Kinect games. So that's why I said Sony's better off buying them than Rare. And on top of that, you know, they're Japanese. Sony's a Japanese, you know, publisher and game creator. So, yeah, it makes more sense for them to support it rather than, you know, than what's the name than Microsoft. But again, I would have no problem if Microsoft, you know, tried to buy them. But again, even if they, let's say Microsoft didn't acquire them and they were able to get a few IPs out of it, hey, I'm fine with that. I wouldn't mind them getting a few IPs out of it, especially if they actually keep them exclusive. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem if Microsoft was willing to invest in Capcom. But I'm telling you right now, Capcom needs new leadership. Capcom needs a new just rehaul, really. I'm not saying fire anybody. I'm not saying fire Yoshinori Ono. No, I'm saying Yoshinori Ono needs new priorities. He needs his priorities, like, reevaluated, okay? His whole mindset of games on the, you know, like, from Capcom is ridiculous. It makes no sense of how many Resident Evil games we gotten. When you see old school Resident Evil voice actors angry to the point where they do not care, okay? Angry to the point where they don't care anymore about Capcom, and they're no longer putting their money, right? They don't care about putting their money in games anymore. It's ridiculous. Like, they don't, or not that. I'm sorry. When they don't care about playing their characters anymore. That's what I meant to say. Like, come on, Leon Kennedy, the iconic Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil, is not coming back from the new one or from the next one. He's done. He's packed it up. He's done. He's tired of playing the character. He wants to explore other adventures. And you know something? More power to him. I mean, it's reality at this point, man. You get bored at one point. Resident Evil games, they don't even sell. They're not even guaranteed to sell ridiculously high anymore. And that's not the fact because they're garbage or anything. The reason why they're not expected to sell anymore, like that high anymore, is because they have been milked to oblivion. Kind of like Gears of War, if you think about it. Remember how Gears of War was doing ridiculously well in terms of sales? That same philosophy falls in the same category as Capcom in general with their IPs. And that is just common sense, man. It's common sense. I love Capcom. I love them. You know what I'm saying? I love them. And if they leave, I'll be heartbroken. But at the same time, if they have to die, if the company has to die off in order for a real leader to take advantage of it and really push the games that we want to return, like, come on, like all the games that we need to return, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? I love Capcom, but they need a serious overhaul. They need a serious, and I mean a serious, wake-up call in terms of what needs to come out. But everything else, I mean, from Capcom is just a joke, man. All this, these all these retarded policies they're doing now, especially with pushing DLC in terms of story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of them coming out with a complete game, they decide to half-ass the game and give you multiplayer first and then give you single player later on at a later date. That's not cool, man. That's not cool business practice. But that's it, man. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that fail with Darth Maul. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think it was lagging, but whatever. Anyway, that's it. You guys have a good one. Deuces. Later.